Hello, fine scholars. I am here today to show you how to draw a bed in one-point perspective. So for this activity, you are going to need the same stuff we've been using for perspective in the classroom. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser, your piece of paper, and a ruler. So I have all those materials here. What we're going to be drawing is going to be a bed that looks like this. So as you can see, the bed is drawn in one-point perspective, and we can see the bed frame is here. There are legs, and the legs actually look like they're getting smaller as they get farther away there. Same with this one. So this is the bed frame, which the mattress is then sitting inside of, and you can see that depth right there. You can see how the how the frame gets farther away. You can see how the mattress gets farther away, and then the headboard here, you can see up at the top how that gets farther away as well. So everything in this one-point perspective drawing gets farther away in proportion. So it doesn't look all wonky and out of proportion. Everything looks like it's getting smaller at the correct pace throughout the drawing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Ooh, it's a little hot in the classroom, which I'm sure you're all used to. So as we draw this bed, we're going to follow the rules that we've been using in class. So for instance, I'm going to start with the mattress. So step number 1 is going to be to draw the front of the object. So I looked at a picture online of this bed in order to draw it. I didn't draw it out of my head because that would be really difficult. So I'm going to start with the front of the mattress. So let's get to the paper. Boop. All right, so here I am on my paper, and the first thing I would like you to do is to line the edge of your ruler up with the edge of the paper so that we have a line here that is actually perpendicular to this edge and that is actually parallel to the bottom and the top of the paper. And this is going to be our horizon line. And I drew it pretty light because I am going to end up erasing it later. Can you see it? So there's our horizon line. I'm also going to create a vanishing point on the horizon line. So that is that. Now, to draw the front of the mattress, I can observe from looking at this one that the front of the mattress is a rectangle. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here below the vanishing point and below the horizon line on my paper. So I'm lining my ruler up with the edge again so that it's perpendicular, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. So one horizontal line. This is parallel to the bottom of my paper. It's parallel to the top of my paper, and it's parallel to my horizon line. And as a reminder, parallel just means that it is on the same angle. So now I've drawn a second horizontal line, and I'm going to make 2 vertical lines now. When I make my vertical lines, I'm lining my ruler up with the edge of the paper here so that this vertical line is parallel or the same angle to this edge of the paper, and it's also parallel to this edge of the paper. At this point, it's going to be perpendicular to my 2 horizontal lines. So vertical, and then another vertical. I'm lining my ruler up with the bottom of the paper, and I am drawing this vertical line. So at this point, I have a rectangle, I have a horizon line, and I have a vanishing point. I would like you to pause the video now, and I would like you to draw a rectangle and your horizon line and your vanishing point. Go ahead. All right, now that you paused and drew to this point, your paper should look like this, a rectangle, a horizon line, and a vanishing point. So our next step, the next rule that we're going to follow is to connect the edges and corners of that object that we drew, that rectangle, to the vanishing point using some orthogonal lines. So step 2 is going to be to go to this corner here that's on the top and this corner here that's on the top, and we're going to connect both of those to the vanishing point. This is going to be the lines that make your bed look 3-dimensional, these orthogonal lines. are going to make the top of the mattress look like it's getting farther away in proportion. And you can see that coming together already. So I just drew my 2 orthogonal lines going to the vanishing point. Now, I would not need to draw an orthogonal line from this bottom corner or this bottom corner, the left or the right bottom corners, because the mattress is opaque. We cannot see through it. And so we would not see the base of the mattress through the mattress because we can't see through mattresses. So pause your video and draw these 2 lines going to the vanishing point. Hi. So now we can see on the drawing that we're looking at to try to match, you can see that the mattress gets farther away, but that it stops here. It doesn't keep going all the way back to the horizon line. So we're going to need to do that on our drawing as well. So in order to do that, we're going to follow step 3. And step 3, for step 3, what we do is we make the back parallel to the front. So to define the back of the mattress, we need to have it be parallel to the front of the mattress, which means the back of the mattress is going to be horizontal since the front of the mattress was horizontal. So I'm lining my ruler up here with the edge of the paper so that they're lined up with each other, and I know I'm going to get a true horizontal line. And I'm also looking at this visually just to see that this looks like it's the same angle as this. The front and the back will be the same angle, and they do look like they're going to be the same angle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the back of my mattress now, and that has been defined now. And now the mattress, the back of the mattress looks like it has an end. I'm going to erase my extra orthogonal line ends here so that just that they're not cluttering my mind and getting in the way of my drawing or of my visualization of this bed. So I just erase the back, and if I accidentally erase a little of the front there, I can just lightly draw it back in so that I can still see everything. All right, the next thing I want to, go ahead and pause your video and make the back of your mattress parallel to the front. See you in a second. Okay, next we are going to make the bed frame. So the bed frame looks like a rectangle that the mattress is sitting inside of. So we can see that if we follow step 1 right now, which is to draw the front of the object, if we draw the front of this bed frame, it's going to be another rectangle. And I can observe that this rectangle of the mattress is just a little smaller than the one we're about to draw now. So we're going to make one that's a little bit wider right here on our paper. So let's do it. I'm lining my ruler up with the edge of the paper because I want this to be a horizontal line. And I'm going to make it just barely below my mattress line. And I'm going to make it just a little bit wider than my mattress line. So you can see that it's a little bit below and a little bit wider than my mattress horizontal line. And then I'm going to line my ruler up with my paper to make the bottom of the rectangle that will eventually be the bed frame, or like that base. So now I've got that. And then I'm going to make 2 vertical lines. And if you remember, I'm lining my ruler up with my paper here so that I get a true vertical line so that it's nice and square. There we go. Whoop. So now I have a lovely horizontal rectangle bed frame sitting just a little tiny baby bit below my mattress. Pause your video and make your rectangle. So we want the bed frame to now look like it's getting farther away in proportion to the mattress and in proportion to itself. So we're going to do step 2. And step 2 is going to be to connect the edges of that bed frame with the vanishing point. So we're going to make some orthogonal lines. And you can see I've done that here, whoop, and here, whoop. And now we're going to do it here on the paper. So I'm going to go to this top corner and this top corner, and I'm going to make orthogonal lines going to the vanishing point. Now, something you'll notice right away is that your orthogonal line is going to run into the mattress itself. And what's happening in reality is that the mattress is overlapping the bed frame. So my ruler is lined up here, and then I'm going to line it up to the corner, and I'm actually going to draw, and poof, when I hit that mattress, I'm going to stop. I know that if I kept drawing, I would actually hit the vanishing point, but I don't need to actually do it because then I would just end up erasing it. And I'm going to go to the other side now. I'm going to line my ruler up with the vanishing point, and I'm going to touch it just to the corner of the bed frame. Whoop, and I'm going to make my orthogonal line there, and I'm going to stop when I hit the mattress. I don't need to keep drawing because we would not see the bed frame underneath the mattress because it's being overlapped. Go ahead and pause your video and make those 2 orthogonal lines from the top of your bed frame. All right, now step 3 would be to define the back of the bed frame with a line that's parallel to the front of the bed frame, but we can't see the back of the bed frame. So it's getting completely covered up by this mattress. So we're going to skip step 3 and we're going to go on to this really fun part of this drawing where what we end up doing is making there be just a little bit of depth within the bed frame. So do you see how we can almost see the top of this piece of wood here? And we can see the top of the piece of wood here. We want to create that because it's going to be details like that that show that we're really mastering one-point perspective. So in order to do that, I can start visualizing, because of this gap that I left here, how this could look like the top of the bed frame. And I could imagine if I were a cute little kid and I was climbing up here, I would maybe put 1 foot on the ground, and then I'd put 1 foot on this little ledge, and then I'd climb all the way up. And we want to kind of emphasize that little edge. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going down here, and you can see if I put my ruler up to just where the mattress is, like that, and it's completely horizontal right now, and I'm going to stretch this mattress line out just a little bit here. That makes this look like a little piece of wood right here. I did not go all the way to the edge here or all the way to the edge here, because what I want to do then is I'm going to make a tiny dot here at the end of this line, and I'm going to make a tiny dot here at the end of this line, and I'm going to connect this dot and turn it into an orthogonal line. And I'm going to move my paper to do this. And I'm putting one side of my ruler on the vanishing point and the other on this little dot here. And I'm going to make an orthogonal line going to the vanishing point there, but I'm going to stop when I hit the mattress. And you can see that it now looks like this little piece of wood. And I can actually shade this in to make it look like a little shadow there. And that's going to start looking really realistic. But this side doesn't look finished yet. So I'm going to move my paper a little so it's easier. I'm going to line my ruler up with this point, the end of that line, and then this vanishing point. I'm double checking to make sure I'm on this point and this point. Then I'm going to draw that line there. And now we've got that same depth happening on both sides. So I'm going to shade this in. So go ahead and pause your video and create that depth with those orthogonal lines and that shading. All right, now we're going to add some feet onto our bed. And you can see that the front of the feet look like little rectangles. And then the sides of the feet, you can see that they actually get smaller as they get farther away. So step 1 is going to be to draw the front of the object. So I'm going to draw the front of those feet. So the way I do that is I'm actually going to put my ruler down here below the bed. I'm lining the edge up so that I get a horizontal line. And I'm going to make just 2 little whoop, whoop, horizontal lines there and there at the same time. That way the feet are both the same length. I don't want one of my horizontal lines to be like all the way down here, because then the feet would look like different sizes. So I've got 2 small horizontal lines that are the same distance away from the bed frame. And now I'm going to line my ruler up with the bottom of the page so I can get some vertical definition on the sides of these lines. Hello, Miss Hoffman. Miss Hoffman's here too. Boop. Boop. And you can see that the length of this video is getting pretty long. And I'm telling you, when you do this, this bed is probably going to take you 30 minutes to draw if you're going to get it right. So take your time and draw it so it looks good. So we just finished step 1. I want you to pause the video and I want you to make 2 small rectangles to represent the feet. Next, we're going to go to step 2, which is to connect the corners or edges to the vanishing point. So if we look at these little feet, we can see down here that if we connect it to this corner, we wouldn't see it because it's getting overlapped by itself. But we can connect to this inner corner and this inner corner over to the vanishing point. Whenever we connect things to the vanishing point, that's what's going to give them depth. So I'm lining my ruler up here with my vanishing point, and I can actually kind of pivot my ruler. And then I'm going to pivot my ruler over whoop, 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 until it hits the corner of the rectangle that's the foot, and I'm going to make an orthogonal line there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, lining my ruler up with the vanishing point, lining my ruler up with the inner corner, and I'm going to make a line there. So we just completed step 2. Pause and connect the inner corners to your vanishing point. All right, so your drawing is probably looking something like this right now. And what we're going to do now is step 3. And step 3 is where you make the back of the foot the same as the front of the foot. So in this case, you can see the front of the foot is like a little vertical line, and the front of the foot here is a little vertical line. So we're going to make a tiny vertical line in the back. There's not a lot of space to do this, but we can make it work. So I am lining the ruler up with the bottom of my paper so I know I'm getting a vertical line. And I'm going to really try to get tight in on this foot, because if we were in reality, this foot would probably only be, 4 or 5 inches. And so in this picture, it's going to look pretty teeny. And I'm just making a teeny vertical line right there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm lining my ruler up with the bottom of the paper to get to make it so that this vertical is perpendicular to the bottom of the paper. And I'm going to make a tiny little vertical line here. And I'm attempting to make the depth match this side. And so I just did step 3 where I defined the back. And I'm going to erase my extra line there. And I accidentally erased part of my bed. So I'll just go in and kind of repair that and go over those lines. And you should have something that looks like this. Pause your video and go for it. So here I've got this finished picture of the bed again, and I want to show you what we're going to be drawing next. Next, we're going to be drawing the top, like this headboard. And you can see here on the very top, because the top of the headboard is below the vanishing point, and the vanishing point is like our eye level, we can actually see the top of the headboard. And if you look closely, you can see like the headboard is getting farther. The top of the headboard, we can see it's getting farther away as on the top. So let's draw this in. So with the headboard, it's again a rectangle. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here on my paper, and I am squaring my ruler up to make it flush with the bottom, because I want to make a vertical line to create this rectangular headboard. So I've got my vertical line, and I'm going to go just on the outside of the top of my mattress, like that. And I'm going to do that same thing on both sides. So I'm making my ruler flush, going just on the outside of the top of my mattress here, and I'm going to make 2 vertical lines, vertical, vertical, lining my ruler up to make it flush with the edge of the paper, because I'm going to make a horizontal line. And you can see I didn't quite draw my vertical line high enough right there. They're not connecting. So I can either go back in with my ruler, or I can just go back in and draw it in like that. So go ahead and make your ruler. Go ahead and make that rectangle. That is step 1 of making the headboard. Draw the front of the object. now that you've got the front of your headboard drawn with that rectangle, and we can't actually see the bottom of that rectangle, and that's okay. So we just drew those 3 lines. We're gonna do step 2 where we connect the corners and edges to the vanishing point. So we're gonna connect this top corner here and this top corner here to the vanishing point, and that's gonna be what makes that little edge on top look like it has some depth. So I'm at this corner, top corner, going to the vanishing point. Then I'm going to go over here to the other side. I'm at the top corner, making a line to the vanishing point. And I actually made this one a little light, so I'm going to go over it again so you can see it. So that is step 2. Go ahead and pause your video and draw the orthogonal lines from the top of the headboard. Now we are going to make the back the same as the front. So the front of this headboard is a horizontal line. So we're going to make a little horizontal line right there to define the back. I am going to line my ruler up with the edge of the paper to make it flush there. And I am going to draw the tiniest distance from the front, a little horizontal line here on the back, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase the extra. And I never use the eraser on my pencil for stuff like this. I save that more for when I'm like writing. And you could actually now, at this point, erase your vanishing point, erase your horizon line, and then erase any other little things that you've got going on. So I've got a little something there. And what I have now is this bed. I erased all my extra lines and I'm super happy with how it looks. So pause the video or stop the video and you're just going to draw that back definition to define the back of this top of the headboard. And then you're done and you should be super proud of yourself for hanging in there, taking your time and doing this.